From more than 202,000 applicants, the Mars One project has chosen 100 people to move on to the next round, which will then determine the 24 best people who will eventually be shot into space, probably never to be heard from again. If you're not familiar, Mars One is the highly ambitious, to put it mildly, plan to eventually colonize Mars beginning next year when they plan to start firing unmanned cargo into space, hopefully to arrive at Mars. And a few years later, they plan to send 24 humans out there to put all the cargo together and form, hopefully, a habitat with infrastructure allowing them to live out the rest of their miserable lives on the planet Mars. Now, I'm a big fan of just going for something, regardless of whether or not you think it's absolutely the perfect time to do it. I'm an impatient person, and honestly, that's how I get most things done. But as you might have guessed, I'm a little bit skeptical of the Mars One project. That's because my philosophy of just going for it applies to things like moving to a new city or getting a dog, and not to things wherein the most likely result is a horrific death. Like, for instance, if I decided suddenly that I wanted to live beneath the sea without ever having actually taken any scuba diving lessons or architecture classes, underwater architecture classes. I've skimmed through many of the 100 profiles of the people who have made it to the next round for Mars One, and I'll be honest, it's not looking great because for every one NASA engineer, there are easily a dozen artists or business school graduate students or people who believe that they're qualified for the mission because they were born during the space race. You need at least a doctor. So, there's going to be another round of applicants in the coming year. So it remains to be seen whether or not Mars One will actually choose people who know what they're doing and have the skills to survive, or if they're going to go with the reality TV tropes of putting together 24 people who won't mind fighting in an entertaining way and maybe having sex as they march forth on a long, cold, hungry journey towards death. In addition to needing to choose actual experts who know what they're doing, the Mars One project is going to face a lot of engineering problems over the next 10 years. For instance, there's the problem of even making sure the crew gets to Mars safely. They are planning to use retro rockets without parachutes, something that has never been tried before. And in addition to that, they're trying to lower a ship full of people to the surface, something that has also never been tried before. There's a group of MIT students who last year pointed out that they're going to need to figure out how to vent built up oxygen that's going to come from all the plants they're going to be raising. A seemingly small detail that currently doesn't have a good solution, but they're going to need to figure it out or they're going to set themselves on fire and blow themselves up. I have to say, though, that despite all of that, I really am rooting for the Mars One project. I mean, maybe all of this excitement is exactly what we need to push our scientists, our engineers to solve these problems in the hopes of moving forward with a better plan to colonize the rest of the solar system, the rest of the universe. And really, I mean, will I ever learn to scuba dive if I don't make plans to live underwater by 2024? Probably not.